all this stuff, banning drilling and all that, cut that too, all right? Let's just hand drilling permits out like friggin' candy to people. If you think you got oil in your backyard, if I was president, I'd hand you a permit and say, start drilling. I want you to give me barrels per day. I'm talking 50, 100 barrels per day, and I'll compensate you well for it. We need to get the economy going in. The other thing we need to do is cut corporate tax. We need to have incentives so that businesses can start developing here in this country again. We need to start manufacturing. We need to cut the middleman out. Let's cut all these foreign production facilities that are sending us all this crap from Taiwan and whatnot that'll break in 3 weeks. Start making stuff here in America again. Start making stuff with our hands that we take pride in that won't break on us in 6 months. Alright? Let's make stuff that'll last like the good old days. But no, we have to make everything out of plastic, make it cheap as possible in some foreign country holding slave labor at gunpoint because, you know, that's just the American way, you know. Well, it is with this administration anyway, and several of the other ones in the past. It just seems to be the progressive way. Let's just mold everything into a nice big ball of dung, hammer it out, and see what happens. Well, this is what's happening. We're falling apart at the seams. I don't mean to get this upset and aggravated, but you know, hey, this is what it is. This is the truth as I see it. Okay, so let's cut some of these programs. Okay, let's cut all the red tape. We don't need the IRS. Flat tax everything. Let's do it how the colonies used to do it. Let's get back to the basics here. Okay, we don't need an income tax. All we need is a nationwide flat tax. Okay, you go and buy a corporate jet, and the other guy goes and buys a Cessna, you're paying the same tax on it. You go and buy a house, you're paying the same tax as the guy that buys a big house. Okay, it's just flat all the way across. That'll solve it. And oh yeah, let's cut Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, the FDA, EPA, especially those scumbags, the TSA, the NSA, cut them all. All we need is a military, the CIA just to do some intelligence work and whatnot, and pretty much Department of Education, worthless, get rid of them. Basically, if I had the government budget book right here, I would probably say, okay, well, we're going to keep Section 82-31, Department of Defense, we're going to keep that intact, but we're still going to do some base closures in non-essential areas of the world that we don't need our soldiers. And we're going to cut funding in certain areas here and there. And as for Social Security, well, I hate to say it, but if you're my age, if you're 32, if you're younger than me, you're never going to see it, okay? Unless, of course, you get hurt at work or something like that, and God forbid, and you have to collect SSI, okay? Then you're going to have to, then you'll see it. But 30 years from now, cut it, get rid of it. All right, let's privatize that. I like that idea. Let's give people the opportunity to either fall on their face or be able to pick themselves up and prepare for what's coming in the future. All right, so like the FDA, are you kidding me? They're so inept anyway. Obama's threatening with this. By the way, he's threatening with this tax increase. He's threatening with this tax increase that if we don't increase taxes, the National Weather Service will be cut, and Medicaid and all that stuff will be cut. Okay, nice scare tactics there, bud, but you know, do you really think we're going to fall for it? The National Weather Service, I mean, it's useful to have the National Weather Service because we need to be able to know when storms are coming and whatnot, but you know what? You can't really predict the weather. You can look at the satellite and know where it's going and track it, but you don't know if it's going to produce an F1 tornado or an F5 tornado. You can't predict it. Same thing with volcanic activity. You can't predict that, but you still need to be able to study it. Yeah, let's cut back on a few things there. The problem is this government is so wasteful. It's spending on all these stupid environmental pork barrel projects. It's absolutely ridiculous of what kind of money we're spending here. So, in my opinion, let them go broke. You know, we could do without some of these services. All we really need is the military to, you know, military, law enforcement, the fire department, you know, just the basics, just to protect our homes. And if not, you know, I guess it comes down to what I was talking about last episode. Be prepared. Because, you know what the cops are good for? They're good to investigate who killed you and broke into your house after the fact, okay? They're not always going to be there when you need them. So it's a good idea for you to learn how to defend yourself. Probably have a weapon in your house of some kind. I don't care if it's a baseball bat, a knife, or a 12-gauge shotgun. Just have something there that you can have easy access to so you can defend yourself. All right. So we're going to now jump into this other story, okay? This pro-Palestinian French flotilla that they're talking about on Blaze.com. Okay, here's another bunch of Nazis, Islamo-fascist scum, that are getting on another flotilla and going to cause trouble for Israel. Okay, let's just get the story straight here. Israel is a cornerstone. Now, I don't consider myself a Zionist or anything like that. I'm just a Christian with common sense. You remove that cornerstone and the West is screwed, okay? We need to be able to defend Israel. Israel is the homeland of 4 different religions and, you know, Judaism, Christianity, or, you know, Muslims. Actually 3, and then there's different sects in there. There's all kinds of things going on over there. And in my opinion, we need to stand up for them. We shouldn't repeat history again. So, I mean, come on, guys. Just leave Israel alone. That is just suicidal. That is the dumbest thing, you know, I could see these people doing. Because, you know, Israel has the right to defend herself. She does have nukes, and she will use them. So, it's kind of like America. Unfortunately, we have an inept, communist, socialist scumbag running the country right now. And yes, this of course is one man's opinion. But I think there's a validity of truth to that. There is. There's a validity of truth. Because this guy does not believe in equal justice. He does not believe in the Constitution. He does not believe in God. I don't care what they say. You know, just because you hang around with Reverend Jeremiah Wright does not make you a righteous man. That guy's a scumbag too. Preaching social justice? What, are you kidding me? Do I need to go into it to really explain to you there is no such thing as social justice or collective salvation? No, it's individual salvation, okay? When you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and into your heart and put your faith and trust in God, that is an individual relationship. No race of poor people or black people or white people or purple people or green people are going to get saved just because of their race or their status. It is an individual choice. If you want proof, read the Bible. Okay, that is common sense. So anyway, that is pretty much the news of the week that I want to go over so far. But I was going through the Blaze actually today, and I saw this one. This one's a doozy, okay? Again, involving the TSA. Boy, these guys are just, you know, I don't really know where to start with them. I don't know. They're either black shirts, brown shirts, or right in between. Maybe they're gray shirts. I don't know what to call them, but they're fascist pigs, all right? I don't mean to be blunt. And if you're in the TSA, I'm sorry, okay? If that's the only job that you can get, I'm sorry. I apologize. But they're trying to unionize you, and you got to decide if you're a TSA guy. Okay, or if you're any government employee, you got to decide which side of the fence you're standing on. Like I said, I drew a line in the sand And I said, you're either on the side of godliness and righteousness, you're on the side of good, or you're on the side of evil. You're on the side of America or you're not. Decide which side of the fence you're standing on and stand up for it. At least then we know what we're dealing with. Instead of being a sheep in wolf's clothing. Or a wolf in sheep's clothing, I should say. Sorry, got a little tongue-tied there. Been around the, you know, the xylene and the sawdust all day, so forgive me. So, anyway, this story is a security risk. A woman allegedly kicked off of a flight after photographing, photographing a rude employee. What? Is this a union member? What the union members are saying now that if you photograph them, well, let's see what it says. A Miami photographer is claiming U.S. Airways did something very un-American on Friday. It kicked her off a flight after she photographed the name tag of a rude employee in Philadelphia. And that's even after she apparently deleted the picture. Okay, U.S. Airways, union people, TSA, hello, it's called the First Amendment, right to free speech, and it's also a right to free press, okay? All right, we have to keep you in check somehow. All right, otherwise you're just going to keep screwing us like you've been doing. So, you know what? You're not going to silence free speech. If you're a scumbag, you deserve to be exposed as a scumbag. Because if we don't expose you, it's going to come out one of these days, okay? Either it's going to come out through the judgment of God, or it's going to come out through somebody exposing you for who you are, okay? You see, I believe this. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Light in general is. It makes the roaches and the vermin scatter, and you don't have to sit here and call. You can sit here and call a spade, basically. This is a quarter, right? It's not a dime, it's not a penny, it's not a nickel. Of course, somebody in Washington go, well, that's a half a cent. Really? Okay, it's a quarter. All right? This is black. It's not gray. It's not white. It's not purple. It's not blue. It's friggin' black. Unless you're colorblind, that is black. And even if you are colorblind, for your information, that is black. Look at the screen. Black. Okay? So call a spade. All right? All right, keep reading the story here. Sandy DeWitt told the blog photography is not a crime. On Saturday, that an employee named Tanella G was being rude to several passengers in the gate area. DeWitt decided to snap a picture of the woman's tag so she could later complain. But after taking her seat on the plane, minutes from takeoff, the employee boarded the plane, confronted DeWitt. She told me to delete the photo. DeWitt told the photography blog. DeWitt decided to oblige, mainly because the picture turned out too dark and was unusable anyway, but apparently wasn't good enough for the employee. What, are you kidding me? You know, you union people and you socialist communist scum have way too much time on your hands to pick on somebody that's in an airport, traveling from point A to point B and being a scumbag to everybody, okay? You know what? If you can't handle your job, if you don't like your job, quit your job and stop taking it out on everybody else. We know that certain jobs stink, okay? But you see, that's why we're in America. We're in the land of opportunity. Go out and create something. Go do something that you like to do so you're not a dick to everybody around you. Pardon my French. All right? So you're not a scumbag to everyone around you. God bless you, anyway. She comments here, I complied with her wishes, but it's not something I would normally do, she said. It just wasn't usable. But Tanya G wouldn't let the issue go. She then walked into the cockpit to inform the pilot that DeWitt was a security risk. Really, what gave you the authority to do this, Miss G? Tanella G? boy, you're glad I wasn't on that flight. You know, seriously. I would have done more than